Don't you know that the music should be solid?
It is.
It is again.
Here we go.
Hey, man, I got blue on. You got black on. Your hair's still blonde, huh?
My hair's still blonde. I'm
still working, huh? You haven't gotten fired yet? Still
Not
working?
yet. No, I'm leaving this hotel. We shoot till 5 a.m. That'll be our last setup at 5 a.m. And then I'm on the plane at 9 a.m.
We're squeezing this in, bro. We're talking about how busy we are. It ain't getting any quieter for you and I.
No.
It is nonstop freaking action. Jesus Christ.
When do you leave?
Monday morning at the crack, right after Father's Day.
So it's really interesting. You're going back, right, to film. I'm going on to the next film.
You are. I know you are. Just you're going from one to the other. Boom, boom.
And then potentially right to another. Thank God. You know, super exciting. I'll find that out in a minute. And it's really interesting because you and I thought there was that one moment where we were like, we're not gonna be able to do the show anymore.
Yeah.
Like, this is cool, but we're not gonna be able to do this anymore. So I wanted to start this by saying something that I think is really interesting that I was thinking about. So I always tell my kids two things. You've heard this 100 times because, you know, you being Uncle Kim and all that is I say awareness. I wish upon you awareness. Be aware. Always be aware of what's around you. Always be aware of other people. But also what I tell them a lot is before you open your mouth, open your eyes and open your ears.
Love that.
If you have the ability with those two senses and you're blessed with those or whatever you want to say, before you say a word, listen and hear.
Yeah.
So you and I started this show in the pandemic because we love talking to each other. We love hanging out. And
such a cool thing. Cool idea. What a thing to do, bro. I mean, come on.
And we realized that we never had seen the show and we were doing it at random. You remember we were jumping around. We were doing like season 3.
Killed me. It killed me. I'm still got repercussions from, we're doing season 2, episode 11. Next week, we're doing season 1, episode 4. I'm going, Jesus Christ.
We didn't know what we were doing. And the truth is the other thing that was so crazy, and this is why I appreciate you so much. And I really, you know, this is me opening my eyes and opening my ears before I open my mouth. But now I'm ready to open my mouth. I was thinking about this after the last week.
Yeah.
You came on this ride with me. And I said to you, hey, we'll do like one episode here and there. You know, we'll do like one a month. You know, maybe we'll do one every 2 months. And you were like, yeah, man, whatever. Listen, you tell me what to watch and we'll do it. And then I started calling you and I was like, hey, how about like 2 a month? And you were like, yeah, I mean, I'm filming. And
Hope so.
Yeah, I'm in Canada. I'm in lockdown, but yeah, maybe. And then I was like, hey, you know what, man? I don't like doing that shit with like interviewing celebrities and doing whatever the thing that I was doing originally.
Right.
I said, I really prefer if we just do the SONS thing. And you're like, yeah. So what are you thinking? And I said, hey, what about we do it every week? And you're like, are we going to be able to do that? You know, like you're going to be really well. Soon. Yeah. You go like, you're going to be filming soon and I'm going to be filming soon. And I was like, no, bro, we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. And this is when it was really kind of just like me, you, and Justin, and Carolyn was doing some stuff, and Caesar really wasn't doing the merch.
Caesar wasn't even involved yet. We're talking like
he was doing like
September last year.
He did our graphics. He just did our graphics, right?
Yeah, and brilliantly, I might add.
And then my brain, the way it works, my squirrel brain.
Crazy.
Like,
your crazy little brain.
I was like, no. Now let's add merch. Like, I want to do fucking sweatshirts and we're going to do this. And hey, you know what? We're going to do it weekly. And hey, you know what? We're going to change the name from fucking Theory to ReaperReviews. And you know what? We're going to do this every week. And it became.
You were like a rocket ship. I couldn't contain you.
It became a massive job.
Yeah.
And this hobby took over more.
It ain't no hobby no more.
No, it took over more time in my life than acting.
Yep.
My family was like, on the weekends, I'd be like, sorry, I got to record. And they're like, you're recording this hobby that you do? And I was like, no. Listen, we promised people. And then we made the decision where we listened to people and went, you know what? It's complicated jumping around on episodes, even though we were enjoying it. You guys seem to want to do it in order. Fuck it. We're going to do it in order.
Yep.
Well, here we are. And we had a conversation last week where we're both filming so much, thank God. The only reason people even like looking at these two ugly ass faces, these mugs, is that they like our acting, apparently. Right?
Apparently, that's the word on the street.
Apparently, they like our acting. So we're trying to do more of that. And you and I are those type of actors that when we get into a project, we usually kind of lock it down. We don't do anything else except for the character we're playing. But we kind of like this little reprieve of having our time together. But we had that conversation that, again, this is people not opening their eyes and their ears. When we had that conversation where we said, we just got to shut it down. And a couple of weeks ago, we had started our other show because we were thinking longevity. When this Reaper thing ends, you and I wanted to do something.
Because it will be over in a blink. You watch.
Soon. Yeah, it's going to be over in a couple of seasons, which is less than a year. And you and I enjoy talking about other things.
A million other things. Yeah.
Yeah, a million other things outside of Sons that we were like, let's go back to that original thing of theory and we'll do like 1 a month or 2 a month. And hey, you know what? For all those amazing people that are on our team and help us.
Yeah.
Carolyn, Justin, Caesar, who believed in us from the beginning, who do it out of their own kindness. Wouldn't it be great if they're kind of taken care of a little and this and that?
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck about us. Care about them. So we started doing our show over on a subscription service and we were doing theory and that was great. But you and I were pretty sure we weren't going to be doing Reaper anymore because again, it's not like we're with the studio. It's not like we're obligated. It's not like we just did this because we kind of like doing it. So I wanted to say how much I genuinely appreciate you to go along with this wild idea and not just appreciate you, but everybody from Tommy, who's been on twice, and DL,
Ali Walker, Dayton Callie.
We got Kenny Johnson upcoming. You know,
we have Kenny Johnson, peeps. Kozig. Next show. Kenny's coming on. It's going to be unbelievable.
And then we're talking about Perlman for the opening of season 5. We're talking about Charlie. We're talking about all these people. And we said, man, everybody is doing this for the love of the game. Like, man, just to do things cool for people. And I just wanted to say how much I absolutely and utterly appreciate you coming on this ride, because the truth is, bro, you didn't have to. This was something where I thought, oh, Kim and I'll do a few and then if we can do it a couple of months later. We're both so fucking busy. I'm in the middle. I just moved. I'm in a different state every month, different part of the world every month. If people just go back and look at the history of the show, the backdrop has been like 72 different backdrops, from being in closets to being wherever. And yet at the same time, we've enjoyed it so much. And I've always said, whenever we stop enjoying something, we're not doing it anymore. But we have a great team around us. We have great people around us that, I've always felt obligated to. So not just do I appreciate you being on this journey, but I appreciate you making it possible also for the other people who are involved.
Bro, I'm not doing this without you. I mean, you're the catalyst of the whole thing, but it goes back to the old. So thank you for saying all that, and right back at you. But I got to tell you, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for, because you and I started out of a closet to hang out on the internet during COVID. You would always, and I know nothing about computers, really. I mean, I'm still your idiot savant in the background going, but Rossi, I can't, and you're very calm with me, and I appreciate that because I'm a dinosaur. But be careful what you wish for, because this show, ReaperReview to Theory to what we're doing now on Patreon, coming up in 3 or 4 more shows, still giving the odd YouTube here and there and all that stuff. Be careful.
No, there's going to be the way we've done it is, and sorry to interrupt, is I think the majority of like large clips of the episode will be of the reviews will be available. The YouTube page ain't going anywhere.
Okay, cool. That's really good to know.
Yeah.
But bro, like I got to tell you, I played golf with a guy who's on a podcast last week. And he knows about our show, and he knows how successful our show is and how many people are listening and blah, blah, blah. And he just goes, you guys have been doing this for how long? I went, just a little over a year. And he just goes, how are you doing it? I
Mm.
mean, I can't even act, like I can't even act anymore. How are you doing it? And I go, that's the big question.
I know.
Theo, Justin, Caesar, Carolyn, and me are figuring it all out. And so it's either we quit or we keep going on what we think might be best for everybody. And so that's what we're doing.
And this is just, and again, this is where I guess that I can't even blame people because they just don't know. It's like here, you know, for example, you're, you know, getting ready to go travel back. And, you know, I'll always say, like, I don't ever want anybody to fucking, don't cry for me, Argentina. My life is good.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, got up, you know, 6 a.m, went for my run. You and I recorded a show already for Theory for our other thing. I had to watch the episode that you and I are about to talk about, Hands. And then I'll go in and I'm filming. My last shot is at 5:12 a.m.
Correct.
I already know that. And then I'll be on a plane at 9 a.m. to go start a new movie. And you know, what I'm trying to do is squeeze in between this, you know,
hard, not complaining, but hard.
Never complaining ever. I love all this. And again, this is a fucking hobby. We do this because we enjoy being on doing this thing together. And I think that I've always thought that there was a misconception of that. But again, it ain't up to me to fucking explain it to people. So here's what's so awesome is I'm loving this show. I'm loving Sons. I'm loving watching it. It's so cool. I'm so glad that people still identify you and I with it.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that people, that this show, these almost full 4 seasons up to season 5 that we've done, my God, it flew by. That has really helped people through the pandemic. I said the best messages we ever get is that people are like, man, your show is like, helped me. Like, it gave me something to look forward to on Wednesdays.
It's great. It's
wow,
great.
it was so amazing. And the fact that I could revisit Sons and hear you guys talk about acting and the people and have these guests on and they see the love that we all have for each other. And the only thing I'll say before we get into Hands is, you know, it's a good time to always go look in the mirror, that if you're kind of one of those people that ever feels the need to say something malicious about something you apparently like, the big question is, did you really ever like it at all? Because if you did, why would you say something malicious? But again, that ain't for me to figure out.
No,
that's for you to figure out. So Kim and I, my brother, my friend forever, my family member, and all the other people that'll come on this from the great show that we did, Sons of Anarchy, that so many people loved. We've always led with kindness. It's what we do. It's kind of our journey here. I wish upon you the same, and I also wish upon you awareness. So without further ado,
you know, you could actually be a little bit of a preacher now if you wanted, a minister. You could get into theology. There's still time, son. I mean, I'm not a big religious guy.
No.
I let people believe in whatever they want as long as it's kindness and you respect your neighbor and that whole thing. But that was very, very well said, Theo Rossi.
Thank you.
Done. Well
Thank
done,
you.
little brother.
You know, listen, we are purveyors of humanity, like we just said.
Come
on the
together right now.
Come together.
Over this show.
You cannot save society at scale. If everybody wanted to
you
talk,
said that earlier. What a great quote, man. Oof.
You can't, you know, you can talk to people one-on-one and they're the nicest motherfuckers in the world. But man, when people get in that comment crowd, when people get in that group mentality, when they could hide behind Potato Face 879 on fucking a thing, they could say whatever they want, you know, and the truth is, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's all good with me.
That's why we love this life, because it's unpredictable. So without further ado, by the way, this fucking episode is crazy.
It's so dark.
Holy
shit. It's so well written. Peter Weller directed it.
Oh,
Hands.
God.
Do you want to take a shot as to what Sutter kind of could be? A couple things, I suppose.
I got to think it's the beatdowns.
Okay. See, there you go. And I think it is, but it's also,
and Tara's hand,
right? Dr. Knowles. She got that hand smacked and she may never be a surgeon again. I mean, this is what you and I predicted and tried to remember when we got into season 4 after season 3, like, here we go. It's about us again. It's about the club. It's a game changer.
Yeah.
No shit, bro.
Some of the best acting I've seen on this show is
no shit.
Episode. Yeah.
It's happening right in front of our face.
Yeah. And I want to start with, I mean, and then I'll give my honorable mentions out. But so we open with Clay at the safe. I mean,
he's never had that kind of money in his life.
No. And I remember there was a couple episodes ago where we were passing out those big stacks of money. And I guess, whatever it was, 30 grand or whatever's in there. It seems like that's about all he has. He took most of it, right? When Gemma checks the box after it, he cleared it out. I wrote that he's getting money for the hitman. I assume he's sneaking around. She knows something's going on, right? She knew something was going on.
She made him promise in the last episode, you will not harm Tara.
Yeah.
You won't harm anyone. We're done, right, Clay? And he goes, yeah, you got it, baby. You got it for sure.
And again, this is what pissed me off a little about this. And I've told you this, is that I feel like they're giving Gemma an out and not Clay.
Yeah.
Gemma's getting clean, especially in this episode, of a lot of things to truly set up Clay as the ultimate bad guy.
Yep.
Okay. So we all agree on that. So now we go, Jax is getting ready, right? And I just wanted to point something out, just because I don't know what he used in his hair, but his hair is growing at a lightning pace.
Oh my gosh. I said the same thing. What kind of sprinkle, what kind of salt and peppers you got going on there?
Holy
I think Charlie realized, okay, we got out of prison. My hair was pretty short. Let's get it long again. Let's do the best we can. Let's get some stuff in there.
Like
it's looking great
or something.
Oh, and I want to say one thing. When Clay blows by Gemma and says, I love you, that was the most insincere I love you in the history of television.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know why. I'm surprised he even went in for the kiss. I
thought
he was gonna walk.
I didn't even like, I love you. No, you don't. And guess what? Anyway, keep going.
So much tension in that room.
So much tension.
I also want to let everybody know, I had no idea what the fuck was going to happen in this episode. So I was like watching this on the edge of my seat, because I'm like, there's obviously.
Oh, I never know.
Yeah, I didn't know at all. So when we do get to this ending, fuck.
Oh,
so, okay. So
wow.
Roosevelt finds out that the ATF took Juice.
Did you notice the bruises on his face? And who put them bruises there, little juicy pants? Yeah, see, you did get in a couple of shots. Even though we didn't really see you,
yeah,
the camera was, you were just going like a wild man.
Squirrel style.
Yes, squirrel. And boy, I mean, Michelli and Tracy and the girls in makeup, they do such a great job.
You know what the problem is when you got to put those fucking bruises on the face?
Yeah, they got to stay on forever. Until they're not there anymore.
Yeah.
I had so many bruises on my face that I remember there was a time when Tracy finally went, you know what? Fuck it. You're done with that.
It's off.
It's off. I go, they just went away then? It just dissolved? She goes, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'd be in a scene sometimes and I'd be like, wait a second. We didn't do the scar on my arm. And they're like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
So this is one of my favorite scenes. And I just want to discuss that when we see Unser all dressed up, setting up.
Oh my God. The crime scene.
Do you see the way he delivers that line?
Yes.
She says something's wrong or whatever. And he goes, what makes you think that?
And he's wearing a mask 9 years early before COVID. He's got that great fucking mask on. I don't even know why, but he does.
Well, I guess it had to be because the body probably stinks to high heaven.
Yeah, high heaven.
Probably got, maggots all over it or whatever.
Sure.
But he's doing the whole thing and he is so frustrated. What Dayton really shows in this episode is that for very few scenes that he's in it, he steals them when he's in it.
Every single one.
He steals every single one.
Every single one.
So he's got the goofy outfit on, which is
there ain't a false beat in his body.
The way he removes the mask and he goes, what makes you think that? And he's like setting, it's fucking brilliant, right?
Hysterical.
So Clay's waiting on this hitman to show up. He talks to him for a minute. There was something happen at the end of that. I want you guys to watch this that I thought was really interesting, and only the motorcycle riders would know this. He starts his bike before he puts his helmet on.
Could you stop stealing all my fucking notes?
What the fuck?
I mean, I just said, Clay, put your helmet on first. What are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Put your helmet on, then start your bike. You can't Start your fucking
Your bike is the last thing. The starting the bike is the last thing.
If I was there, I would have sergeant armed him. I would have. Come on, helmet on first.
Yeah. Hey, bud. What are you gonna do next? Not take your fucking your kickstand up?
Yeah.
What are you doing? So he gets with this hitman. You know, obviously all is bad. Here's one of my favorite scenes because we don't really ever get to see this. The family driving and singing.
This old man, keep that knock knock patty whacking the get dog give a dog a bone.
Great.
We never ever went there.
Never.
So cool. Forgot that we had in this show.
Yeah, we did. We don't do that. And there's a couple of moments in this. God, fucking just the way it's shot, the way it's written, that we see this outlaw Jax. We're going to see it more in a minute. Of seeing a different life, like the Mayberry life, I call it. Like he's like,
I wonder if people actually bought into that. Meaning, Jax is now saying, "I'm with you. I'm taking you up. I'm coming with you. I'm closing down shop. Trust me, this is happening." And then the audience, like us, gets to see him in the car with, you know, the doc beside him, kids in the back. Maybe this is the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
Maybe it's actually going to go that way.
Maybe he's going to be on another, and maybe in like, and I'm thinking like, what's some other storylines they would run here? It's like, oh, maybe they're living in Oregon, they're living somewhere else. And then like a hitman comes to the thing and Jax has to come back out. But maybe we'll do like a good 7 or 8 episodes of Jax living a normal life.
Big
like
arc.
Works
Normal,
in a hardware
normalcy.
store or,
you know,
would have been great.
No, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to last that long.
Keep going. You're doing well.
So Clay pulls back up, right? He says it's a great shot of him kind of walking away where he pulls all the backup and all that, right? And that goes right into him calling Romeo, where he orders Tig right away to track down Jax. Now, again, this is one of those episodes where it's really focused on just a few people. But we were always around, right? So he orders Tig right away.
Yeah.
Go track down Jax.
Yeah.
Does that basically consist of you just calling him, tracking him down?
That's it. Track him down on the phone. Right. Where do you want me to go, Peter? Stand over here. Is that good with your camera? Yeah, that's good, Kim. Call him right there. Booney. Then he goes with Juice. Booney's going with Tom. Is this okay? We go walk this way? Sure. That's great for the camera.
And we did a lot in that little scene because Chibs is concerned about Juice.
Yep.
But then really quickly, Clay gets caught where he's like, he doesn't want, because Opie's like, I'm going to go up to the cabin and grab Piney. He's like, no. And Opie is, and again, I said, Clay says it quicker than a heart attack. No, don't go there. Right. But
we need, yeah, go ahead.
Then we finish on Opie's face being skeptical. And I feel like that's a cheap shot because he didn't know anything. Right?
It was overkill.
Thank you.
It was total, for the audience, overkill. They know what's happened. Opie certainly doesn't, but Clay was a bit too quick, jumpy. No, don't bother about that. And
but why do that with Opie? Is that to kind of trick the audience for a minute to go, maybe he knows?
I don't think it's maybe he knows. I think it's why can't I go see the old man? Like, what do you mean? You're gonna have me do something else?
Right. He played
That's kind of weird.
He played it like he was skeptical of Clay.
Well, that's what I mean. It was a weird thing from Clay to say no to. That's all.
Yeah, really, and I know Opie's like big team Clay at this point.
He's all in with Clay.
Yeah. So this is such a great scene. Jack's talking to this cop.
Yeah, it's great.
It just, again, the way I still to this day, because, you know, I used to do some nefarious stuff when I was a kid. Still to this day, when a cop's behind me, I fucking literally shit my pants. I'm at 10 and 2. I shut the radio. Don't know why.
I'm with people who always know when there's a cop behind them or they're around them.
Yeah.
They just have a feeling about it.
I get it. And I get it. It's just a thing, right? You know, whatever. Maybe it's a New York thing. Maybe it's an everything thing. I don't know. But to see his reaction, and again,
great.
That cop was really good. He was really
so good.
Perfect state trooper, right? Like a perfect motorcycle cop. To see Jax and then to watch him play, you know, with the baby for a minute and kind of do what so great and so cool.
Well,
And
it's almost as if Tommy Flanagan wrote the scene because he loved his Beamers, right? And all of a sudden Charlie's going, what do you that you're not riding the Harleys anymore? Nah, Beamers they're not as fast and as loud, but they're more comfortable. They're way more comfortable. I love the
Have
ride.
you ridden? I've never ridden the Beamer.
I've been on one. Ewan McGregor. I've been on his, and they're like a rocket ship, man. They're quiet and they're smooth, and the radio works beautiful. It's not. I'm a Harley guy, always will be, but they're beautiful bikes. Beautiful.
So they're more, and what it seems like with Tommy and everybody who rides them, they're more for like that long distance, like getting in there. Really
and the cop said it's better for his back, meaning Harleys, as we know, we're leaning back. You better have a good back because you're going to be doing that a lot. But the Beamers put you a little bit forward. Your back is straighter. It's just a little bit of a better on your back ride, and they're smooth as shit.
Yeah, Flanagan loves those bikes. So Jax is, seeing that different life for a minute, right? Which we're going to come to hit on a little more.
Great scene. I'm glad you pointed that out, Rossi. Great scene.
It really is. So
Cop was amazing.
Roosevelt then goes looking for Juice. He gets into it with Potter and basically tells him, I'm out. I'm not doing this. And again, I'm so glad I'm watching this because I, as Juice, not as Theo, I, as Juice, held so much resentment for Roosevelt. And I've now realized two things in watching season 4. One, Chibs really went above and beyond to help Juice.
For you.
That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, Roosevelt really wanted the best for this kid. And he, yes, he wanted to do his job as a cop, but he didn't want, Potter's the real fucking bad guy here.
It got out of hand. You see, when Roosevelt went into that room, which you went into that room, and you see this Rico shit and all this and all this and all the people and the typewriters, it's overwhelming for a small town like Charming. And Roosevelt was, again, like you were, between a rock and a hard place, but he's still a cop. He's a cop.
Yeah.
He wants to do the right thing. But then the malicious side of Potter pissed off fucking Roosevelt so fucking much, man. Do you realize this scene? First time we've ever seen Ray McKinnon without that brown leather jacket.
Yeah.
He did first time. And it was weird. It's whoa.
And he basically, and that's his office too. I saw some stuff in there that has his name on it. And ultimately he tells him, he basically blackmails him. He's like, remember you signed something.
Yeah.
You signed something. So you're under my thumb.
We've got you.
Yeah, we got you.
We've got you.
And it's showing who the real bad guy is. Another thing that I was noticing, and it sounds strange.
Sure.
What's his name's not in this season a lot, is Hale Sr.
The mayor?
Yeah.
Have we even seen him yet? Oh, maybe. No. He was at when Clay is talking about that $75,000.
Yeah, the flower thing.
We need a new mayor.
The new
he was there.
Thing.
No, he's that storyline's on the down low right now, big time.
Yeah. Does that make a comeback?
It does.
Oh, okay, cool. I have no idea. So Jax is now seeing this different life in front of him.
They're in the grass now, right?
Yeah, they're in the grass. It's like a Levi's commercial.
I'll tell you what, I just wrote down that our little boy, and they're always twins, people. Explain that to everybody, would you, Rossi?
What?
They have to be twins.
Oh, yeah. It's so whenever you see
when you have a baby or a young, they have to be twins because one needs a rest, one might cry.
I worked with the most famous of them all. I did a movie in 2001 with the Olsen twins who started as the baby on Full House. And ultimately, it's because of a thing called the Coogan Law, which we all know about, was because of Keith Coogan. And he was a young child actor that they put all these laws in place for the union. And ultimately, you cannot have kids on set for a long time. So I believe the age is under 18, correct?
I think it's under 16, but
maybe it's under 16.
But it could be. Sure.
But you cannot, they have to go to school. They have to.
Oh, they're in school all day.
They're in school all day on set. They have, teachers in the dressing rooms and all that, or even they have school set up.
Yeah.
But ultimately, when you get to these really young ages, you can only use a kid for a few shots, and then they switch them out. Now, the reason I say they switch them out like a shirt is they have twins.
They're identical twins, and the kid who's playing Abel, that kid was so amazing.
Oh God, they were
That little boy,
family
as
was
they and
great
we
too.
used
Yeah.
them. They stayed the last 3 seasons, and we used those little Abels as they grew up, and they were freaking great kids,
They
man.
got to be much older now.
Well, they were probably, that was 2008, 9, 10, 11. That was 10 years ago.
They're in their teens.
They're definitely 15, 14, 15.
It's fucking
Think
crazy.
about that.
No, more.
Well,
Think about it. If
He was like 4 in that shot,
that's
right?
like 2011. It's 10 years ago. I think they're like 5 or 6 there.
Abel, was he 5 or 6? Sure. I was gonna say 4 or 5, but
Okay, but either
who
way,
cares?
who
Teenager
cares?
for sure.
Who cares for sure? But either way, those kids are going to be 20 in a blink of an eye, and I'm going to feel like I'm 70,000 years old.
We're gonna go to a Comic-Con 5 years from now. They're gonna be
Yeah.
like 22, married couple of kids.
Kids going to
Whoa!
pick me up and body slam me and be like, "What's up, buddy?" I'll be like, "Jesus Christ!" it's
Hey,
Steve
Jersey
Jordan."
Pants.
Yeah, who are
I
you?
haven't seen you since I was 4.
But yeah, they're twins, and usually they don't. From what I've seen in the past, and I've worked with many kids, is a lot of times the twins don't continue to act unless like they don't continue. They just kind of do it for a little while.
The
and then
Olsen
once they get
twins
to
were the
school,
most famous by far. They were-
100%. Yeah, I mean they're like a
They're
global
something.
brand. So yeah, pretty wild. So Tig telling Clay he can't get the Jacks.
Yeah. First of all, can I just say that I don't ever remember Chibs and Tig looking this good.
Oh, you guys
Like-
look great.
I don't know what salon we were going to. I don't know why Kelly Jones gave us such sexy clothes. I decided to button shit up.
I
for a
know
while.
what it is. I remember.
What is it? Why?
So the show was really popular.
We look like $1 million all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
the
Like, what
show was
fuck?
really popular. And Kurt, like every year, would do those meetings between the seasons where we would come in and
Yeah.
discuss our character. But I remember in the off season, Kelly, we went to the set
Kelly Jones.
and we had money. Bro,
We
the
did
show
have
had-
money for the first
the show
time.
had money. So because the show had money, she said, "So what do you want to wear this year?" And of course, some people like me were like, "Plain t-shirt, Dickies.
I'm good.
I don't care." Other people were like, "Oh, this John Varvatos leather, and I want to wear this." And everybody went GQ on them. And
We
everything was
used some money.
tighter,
I had
everything
better
was
shirts.
tighter.
Tig had better shirts.
Yeah, but it was just fitted now.
Yeah.
There was more time put into it.
Yeah.
You know, we had tailors, we had things were different.
Yeah.
And this is our glow up. This is the Sons of Anarchy glow up. Season 4, we went from like the kind of cheap cable show to, oh, this show's got some money.
Yeah.
And
That's funny.
So you guys look
That's
great.
funny. You look great.
So in this scene, which was really interesting, they say check with Juice's old girlfriend. That's the first I ever heard of that.
Was it Juice's old girlfriend or was it
Yeah.
Bobby's old girlfriend?
No, check with Juice's old girlfriend. And
Oh.
Bobby says, "Oh, Precious still talks to her."
Oh, that's what I couldn't. Oh, great.
Yeah.
So you had a girlfriend, did you, huh, Juice? How'd that work out for
I
you?
got to be honest. I never really was positive of Juice's sexuality. I
Yeah,
didn't know
no,
what it was.
neither were any of us for that.
Nobody
matter.
was, and nor was I. And I always played it kind of ambiguous.
That's too bad. We could have brought someone on.
I just didn't know. And the
Tulip.
thing,
Hey, Tulip, is Tulip
because-
working today?
you had a bunch of scenes where you were with
yeah.
partners or whatever. Juice once was on a pool table naked once.
Yeah, you
Remember
were.
when that was when we were all passed out?
Sure.
And then I think there was a scene when we were in Ireland where a girl was like on his lap or something.
Yeah, that's as close as it came for you.
That's as close as it came. So
You're pretty
because
happy
there
that day.
well, you know what? Because it was never definitive, I always played Juice as like one of the Lost Boys from Peter Pan, where I was just
Sure.
like, he doesn't fucking, it's the last thing on his mind. He's like a plant. He's like asexual. Like he just doesn't know. And when she says the girlfriend thing, those are those things when you don't watch these episodes where you go, oh, that would have been cool if I knew that. And maybe I probably should have, maybe I did remember it when the script came
When
out.
the script came out.
But I think at this point I was just reading my lines.
Yeah. You're on Juice Island at this point.
I was on Juice Island. So Gemma confronts Clay about the money.
Okay, so did you hear the sound that our boy Ron Perlman's hand made when it hit the table. It was like a redwood falling in the Northern California
He's got
forest.
big hands.
He's got big hands. He's strong as a bull. And that hand came down on that table. I thought, woo, this is
when
not.
He said enough, right?
Yeah.
So he's in the shadows and he's angry. The way he shot that scene. Did you notice like most of his body and his face is in the shadows?
Yeah, he was hiding.
It's kind of like a Beauty and the Beast moment, harking back to his other thing.
I bet
he's like in the
I
darkness.
Bet. Yeah.
It's fucking great because again, there's no coming back from this. And
he screams at her, "You're not a member of this club. You're an old lady. That's all you are. Don't forget it."
Whoa.
That's pretty much pretty hardcore for
especially
those two.
Uncalled for.
That was a little uncalled for. I think we have that conversation is about to get finished at the end of this episode.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I can't wait to talk to Ron when we do season 5 because this is, if he even remembers this, this is where it all he's going. He's unredeemable, as she says later. There's no redeeming him.
And it's coming up in a minute here, but I'll bring something up. But I also felt that Clay, the character, was up against it. He's made so many bad calls. He's made so many bad decisions, and he's up against it, and he can't stop it now.
Isn't that such his life, right? Like I was thinking about this the other day. There are some people that the mistake is that sometimes you get so far down the road of bad decisions.
Yeah.
That really the only way out of it is you have to start going backwards and you have to start fixing the bad decisions, get back to neutral, and then make the other turn, right?
Yeah.
Like, so let's say you made the left of bad decisions, like it's a left of all bad decisions. You can't just keep going. Clay is keeping going. He's foot on the gas, as opposed to being like, stop the car, throw it in park. I got to reverse. I got to start making up for all these bad decisions I made, starting with the cartel, starting with the Tara thing, the Gemma thing, and you got to start rectifying one by one, get back to neutral, then make the right turn.
And then we would have a very somewhat boring television show.
We would. Yes.
This is why we didn't rectify anything.
No.
Because you and I are still talking about it 8 years later. I can't even imagine the water cooler talk that people were having to wait for the show a week to talk about what they just saw and what they're going through. No wonder this fucking show is so huge.
Do you think that the goal from the beginning was for Clay to always be the primary antagonist?
I'm not sure primary is the correct word, but yes. I know for a fact, and so do you, and so do all the 10 leads on this show, that there was an arc that Sutter had way back in the day with Linson. And John Landgraf said, absolutely, that's the arc. He changed things. People got killed a little sooner or a little later, or he brought in different ideas after watching certain scenes and certain seasons. But Clay was always going to be the Hamlet story.
Claudius.
Yeah. And Gertrude and Claudius, that's who those two are in Gemma and Clay, and that's the way it was going to end, and it did.
And Claudius is the enemy.
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt.
Killed Hamlet's dad. Oh, fuck yeah.
And Gertrude is as bad as Claudius, or is it?
Listen, Gertrude loves Hamlet, loves her son, thinks he'll get over it. But Hamlet can't get over it because he starts seeing ghosts. He starts seeing a play being played in front of him. And Claudius can't hide something. And Hamlet clocked that, then sees his mom. And she's as bad as he is in the end of that
Speaking of ghosts, this is the move.
We're at that point.
Yeah. Isn't that
there
wild?
She is again.
Fucking great. I love it.
Whenever
I see
woman.
her, it's like a bonus in a video game.
Oh, yeah.
When I see her, I'm like, fuck, this is awesome. I just
go, nothing good's going to happen when
nothing good is coming from this. But God, I love seeing her on screen because you go, fuck, something's about to happen. So,
oh, good for you, bro. Yeah,
and
man.
There's the ghost, right?
Yeah, there she is.
He sees the ghost. She's at the garbage pail. She's doing her thing. And right as that happens, Tara gets kidnapped.
Yep.
I totally forgot she crushes her hand. It's fucking devastating. The way it was played, the way it was shot.
To continue, I actually didn't even remember if they took her away. Like I couldn't remember. How did we get out of this?
I thought she was on. I thought I had this weird picture, and I guess I was thinking back to a couple of seasons ago where she was tied up and all that.
Yeah, that was in season 2, or when her and McNally were being tied up. Maybe season 3 actually. Okay, doesn't matter. But yeah, I couldn't. And then Jax does some really nice shooting. Gets the van tire, blows it up.
Yeah, and again, this is all bad. It's all his fault, technically. It's everybody's fault, right? I'll tell you whose fault it's not. Tara. Right? So everybody wanted to hate on Tara.
Dr. Knowles, it is not your fault.
Not
Dr. Knowles to the front of the line.
No,
this is not your fault.
It's not our wonderful surgeon, Dr. Knowles' fault. It's everyone else's fault.
Yeah.
And for all those people who, when this show was on, despised Tara's character, Gemma, Tara is trying to break up the Sons. This character, this doctor, this high-level surgeon never did anything wrong.
No.
Just protected her family, wanted a better life for them.
Yep.
Silly.
And what a beautiful, like, little love story those two had since they were teenagers. And she goes away, doctor comes back. Oh, okay, it'll be for a minute. Right. Gemma didn't like her. Hang on. Now they're gonna have a kid together, and so it's all gonna work out. Well, guess what? Now she wants to be, she's gonna be killed by Clay. What?
And so many people. I mean, there were people who literally liked Wendy's character better than Tara, and it's like Wendy was like had problems with drugs. She did all these bad things. She did this stuff, left her kids in squalor. Did all that. What did Tara do wrong? Can I be the first to say, look, what did Tara do wrong? And soon enough, we're going to get to this point where it's going to be really fucking heartbreaking. Yeah. And it's like, oh my God. So that again, and we're going to get to a scene where Maggie just really, they should have just put in a wheelbarrow of awards to her.
Yeah. She should have won $1 million.
So Juice is watching cartoons, which is exactly what Theo would be doing, which I love.
So I'm just going to say, did you pick that? I mean, whose idea of the cartoons? Did you want that? Was it in the script?
I think that I asked. I kind of don't remember. That whole scene is a little
like Tony Medina. Was he responsible for that and shit?
I think we were talking about what would he watch, and I said cartoons because that's kind of what I do. I have this weird thing, by the way. If anybody is on YouTube, and if you're watching this via seeing our faces, you're on it. I'm an 80s kid. And it's really cool. You can choose a year on YouTube and put in Saturday morning cartoons.
No.
With commercials. So I, every Saturday morning when I'm traveling or when I'm with my kids, I throw on Saturday morning cartoons. They're like 5-hour YouTube videos, and they have the original commercials from the 80s in them. And it's fucking amazing.
So fun, eh?
I know, it's so fun. I'm watching like DuckTales and G.I. Joe and He-Man, and it's just Snorks and everything else, and Care Bears, and I love it. So yes, Juice is watching cartoons. So Clay and crew go to the hospital. You guys roll in. I've always said this. You've heard this 100 times. Seeing the Sons in the hospital is like seeing a bunch of alligators walk into a Starbucks. It's just odd.
It doesn't work. And yet every administrator, they don't even look anymore. They don't even look up when I walk in or Tommy walks in or, oh, the boys are back in town. That's all it is. A lot of trouble is going to happen. There might be a gunshot, but that's okay. We're at a hospital.
And they come in so aggressive. And it's
always, it's like we own the place. Oh, wait, we kind of did.
Kind of did. I remember
we know they had surgeon, that's for sure.
I remember once we were all together. We're not going to go into the story now. We'll probably do it on the other show. But remember, like when we all went away, when we went to Joshua Tree, all of us.
Never forget it.
Right, and
we'll talk about that. That's season 5.
Yeah, you were trying to get the RV out after we crushed it or whatever. We fucking
we went to a hole, and it was like we had Chris Reed and Bobby and Charlie and you and me and Perlman. We had to just try and get this goddamn motorhome, this 28-footer.
Yeah, there was like a lot of psychedelics involved. But
Ooh.
point is, oh, what a wild trip that was. So point is, we all went to a restaurant in Joshua Tree, and we were in the middle of filming. And we were in character, like in a way. Like we kind of weren't, but when we were around,
couldn't mistake us. Everyone knew who we were. Yeah.
And I remember Charlie going, hey, everybody, just calm the fuck down. Because we went into this busy restaurant and we went in like we owned the place. And there was like, how many was it? Was there 12 of us or 10 of us or something? There was a lot of us, right?
There was more than 10, less than 15.
Everyone.
Let's say 12.
Yeah, it was like 12 of us going in there. And the whole small town was like, what the fuck is going on?
What just happened?
What just happened? We were in.
You want to talk about 1%ers showing up somewhere? We were that. That's what we were
in bathing suits, bucket hats, sunglasses,
running shoes, bad hats, sunglasses,
covered in dirt. Because we had camped in Joshua Tree. What a wild. So I was thinking of that when I saw you guys all walking.
Oh, that's funny.
So
good memory.
Okay. So Tara's hand is
done.
Destroyed. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's destroyed.
Yeah.
After we notice that for a second, we get into a very silly and uncalled for scene. We go to see the Niners. Oh man, you were there. What happened here?
Well, I just go, okay, like uncalled for. A Mayan dude shot between the eyes. Then a black guy shot between the eyes. And I just, and Jax is yelling again. And everyone's guns are out. And I just remember going, I remember shooting this going, like, why do we have to kill people? What, like,
and why is there these shootouts for no reason?
Yeah, no.
In a closed
it's to pop up the tension. The stakes need to be so high that they're kind of unrealistic.
It's
like how do we
unrealistic, and to say like,
how are we not all in jail, bro? Like,
yeah, we thought you were a cartel. Meanwhile, everyone has cuts on. Oh, and speaking of, I just don't understand that whole thing, because it's like, okay, I get it, because I know that, and I'm accustomed to this after doing 4 seasons. There's a lot of times that I think maybe we're in the middle of an episode and they're like, we need more action. Like we need action. Make it a gunfight. Make it a car chase. And that, that serves that same audience that you and I would be. I remember you and I would be doing these panels when the show was on, and people would be like, hey, I got a question. Like, why don't you guys just do like way more bike riding? And I'm like, what? And they're like, we just want to see like riding. And I'm like, that'd be a really boring TV show. You just want to see us riding? And I'm assuming,
but we did enjoy those riding scenes. We never had enough of them.
We did. They're just not that interesting to watch on television for 48 minutes. Right. And I'm assuming that's that same demographic that's like, yo, I just want to see like fucking car chases. And
gotta be some guns by now.
Yeah.
Maybe some bullets flying by now.
I don't want to see all this talking.
Yeah, no, seriously. Uncalled for. The whole fucking thing was just
the whole
so
thing's
weird.
Uncalled for.
So violent.
Okay. Clay tells Jax he's too amped up, tells him, go back to Charm. Get out of here. Obviously, there's a double reason for that.
Sorry, I've lost you. Where are we now?
That's right as we're coming out of the bar.
Oh, okay.
Right out of the bar. You didn't even write it down because
I didn't write it down.
You thought it was insignificant, as he tells him,
yeah.
You go back to Charming. You're too hot. Ultimately, I'm going to handle this. Now, Clay's doing that for 2 reasons. 1, he doesn't want Jax around because he's about to do some devious shit. And 2, he knows that Jax is going to go in and all he wants is Lobo. He wants the cartel, but Clay is still trying to figure out how to fucking make this thing work.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm a little confused about before we go any further, because we're about to go into that Margaret scene.
Yeah.
Who kidnapped Tara?
Who?
Yeah.
Okay. So Romeo and Benito. Wow. Romeo makes the deal with Clay. $30,000, keep it on the down low. Romeo, cartel, is going to get a guy to wipe her out. So that was Romeo. That's all Romeo. Romeo was going to kill this doctor. Her name was Tara.
No, I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay, go.
and we'll see if anybody writes anything about this. After Clay says you got to shut it down, Jax is with her.
Yeah.
Shut it down. Romeo says can't do it. He doesn't connect with anyone. He doesn't talk to anyone until after the job.
Correct.
And then they call the guy.
Correct. He said, no, we're not. He goes, it's too late. Can't do it. It's not happening. And then when Clay leaves, Benito and Romeo go, okay, we'll call the guy. Right.
And here's why I think they do it. I think they do it because they want the Sons to be angry and they want Jax to go after Lobo, their competition.
I think that's completely correct. I thought you were just literally asking, but I was just reminding you, it started with Romeo. That's exactly right.
Because they could have easily called the guy and said, don't do it anymore.
Don't do it. No.
Right. But instead they're like,
oh yeah, they want more mayhem, the better. Lobo, but they want to get them out of there. They want to fight them. They want to shoot them. There's no doubt about it.
But wasn't it when they took their hoods off to like white guys?
In the van?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I do remember someone going, hey, you guys okay back there? I was like, what? What kind of ad lib is that? You okay back there?
So again, maybe somebody can explain that a little more. I'm just a little confused about that scene. Okay. So Margaret rolls up on Gemma. I got to tell you something. She ain't taking any shit from me.
Oh, I just went arms crossed, going to confront the bitch Gemma in the chapel. She's definitely Team Tara.
Oh my God.
Margaret is having no more shit. She sits behind her. It's really cool scene, man.
She is not
really cool scene.
It is not. It's not happening. She ain't having it, as they say. No. She's going at her, and Gemma doesn't know what to do. She knocks Gemma down a few pegs. She basically tells her, "I'm not scared of you. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Beat me up? Yeah. Can't do anything more than that." It's great. So, Juice is there as they come back. He assures Chibs that everything's okay. Right? That's kind of this. I remember this scene. Weller and I had an argument about this scene. He's like, I want you to put your hands on his bike and push it back. And I was like, I don't know about that, but I got to tell you, it kind of looked pretty cool. So I was wrong at that point because I know that I was fighting against that. I don't know why, but I thought it was weird that I'd be like walking his bike back. But
that's actually, and you know this, you're a bike rider. That actually helps a lot when you back it up.
It does. Push. You're helping him. You're helping him
push. Sometimes up the hill, sometimes just along the side.
Yep.
Get in the front, push.
Yeah.
It looked really natural to me. Actually.
It did, and it showed their relationship again. So he assures him again that he's okay. So Clay goes to meet with Cartel. You know, they want everyone to think it's Lobo. They want to take out Tara. This is that moment where Clay meets with them and tells them that, you know, what we just spoke about, right?
But I gotta just say, you know what's so weird about that scene?
What?
Like fucking Ronnie, the shit that he had to say sometimes. I mean, he goes, you guys crushed her hand. Wait a minute. You wanted her dead. You wanted her dead.
That's a good point.
No. And Ron's good, but you crushed her hand.
I know, but she was going to be dead.
But you paid $30,000 to wipe her out.
Yeah. You should be happy it's just her hand.
So don't give writing for the sake of, oh, we should feel a little bit for Clay in that moment. Right. He wanted her fucking dead. If anything, he should be sweating or he should be cool or something's like, I don't know what, punching somebody or fucking running out of charming. But you can't go, you crunched her hand. Well, you wanted her dead, so fuck off.
Yeah, such a
it's not very good writing.
Why would he be mad about that? You're right. So her hand is set after the surgery. They tell her she won't have use of her hand for a little while, whatever.
How good was Tara in that scene?
I'm fucking literally blown away. So here, it's not there yet. This is when he first tells her.
Correct.
And they cut away for a second, but
correct.
You're starting to see the build, and you as the audience are like, oh my God, right? You're starting to
here it comes. Yeah.
Here it comes. In between that scene, before we're going to get back to that amazing scene, Gemma confronts Clay, and here we go. Brings up JT. She shoots at him. Then she hits him. It's a brawl. It's ugly. And I wrote, it's very hard to watch.
It was so hard to watch. It was so brutal. I mean, everyone in the world knows how you and I and everyone should. There's never violence that needs to happen anywhere.
Ever.
Certainly not to women. Never. ever. Not even a nothing. Don't even fucking raise your voice.
Yeah.
That scene was all in. It had come to a point, or I think it was just shock and awe. It was so hard to watch, right, bro?
I can't believe he went. I can't. And again, this is years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. I can't believe he went like closed fist. Like he was
told to. That was exactly what the stuff that Ronnie and Kurt would talk about and agree with and disagree with and agree with and disagree with.
It was hard to watch.
It was really hard to, and the rings that he wore.
Oh fuck, man. And again, you saw it coming. The build up, the chase.
Brutal.
The
oh, and one more thing. Did you see? Like, I know Perlman did pretty much as you and I did, as many stunts as they would let us do. Katie, that was Katie who fell on the floor.
Across the table.
Times.
Yeah.
Across the table, down on the floor.
Yeah.
That was her. I froze it.
Hats off.
And hats off to Katie
Bravo.
Seagal.
Bravo.
She freaking did most of that shit.
And more importantly, like, people don't realize that acting strange, right? The bravery it takes, like, to get in there. You and I have both played like really bad characters, and the main thing you're always asking is, are you okay? Are you okay? Is everything okay? Is everything okay? Because you're in such an emotional place, you know what I mean? And man, good on Gemma. Gemma's man, all the accolades she gets for this shows are deserved, because ever since that fucking season 2 stuff on.
And no wonder, Rossi, when we talk about this, a bit, the recast of Ron Perlman and myself in the pilot way back when, the chemistry that these two have, that Katie and Ron have together, from the love to the kissing
to the hate,
to the hate, to the don't trust anymore, to what she says at the end of this episode, which we'll get to. You can't just make that up.
No.
You either have that chemistry or you don't. The shit between you and Chibs, me and you early in the comic shit, you either have that chemistry or you don't. The Opie and the Jack shit, you either have that brother chemistry or you don't. And that was in spades in this episode between Clay and Sean.
I couldn't agree more. The chemistry in this episode, which people don't realize, when you say chemistry, you always think it's a good thing. But sometimes when you're playing a bad person and a bad thing, the chemistry is almost more important.
Oh my gosh. Good point, Rossi.
You just need it, because you got to have a trust. And there's so much. Thank God we were all so close in the show, because what a trust factor we all had.
Were we ever?
And there's going to be so much more of that, but just an incredible trust factor along everyone.
Okay.
Oh man, Jackson Tara, he's feeling the weight. This could have, it's so funny. You think like this could have been this turn in the story that could have went the other way, right? If this didn't happen to her. She's numb. The trapped and charming stuff, the stuff she's doing, that whether she be on morphine or, whatever they have. And it's a fucking heartbreaking scene. It's heartbreaking. The whole scene is heartbreaking.
Their life was fate. They say it. It was charming fate. And it's just that's the fate. It's kind of sad. That's where we're going with this.
Did Hamlet have a relationship in Hamlet? I'm trying to remember.
Ophelia. Yeah.
Ophelia. So that's Tara, right?
Well, a lot of people think it was Wendy, because Ophelia took her own life. Her and Hamlet were, she kills herself. It's so sad. It's so rips your heart out. Couldn't get to her, couldn't save her in time. That was more like Wendy in a way, who had the drug problems and stuff. But it's Tara as well. I mean, that's why the Sutter's always said this is thematically like Hamlet, but it's not Hamlet. It's just thematically.
Well, I think so far up to date, this is Maggie's best scene by far. I think that she, it's not just about the tears.
I was crying last night. Bro.
Me too. And I got to
teared up, bro.
It was 2 in a row.
2 in a row.
2 in a row that just really kicked the shit out of you.
Rips your heart right out.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those episodes that back in 2010 or 11 or whenever it aired, you didn't eat your popcorn in these 2 scenes in a row.
No.
You're sitting there. You're kind of like you're sitting.
Yeah. You weren't leaving the chair. No.
You're going, holy shit, this show just got super real. Roosevelt confronts the club, says he needs to talk to Juice. So I have a question here. Why does Juice not have his cut on?
Oh my God. Maybe you've been, I mean, again, we're not, again, this
I
is,
had it on when I was with Chibs. Where is it?
Oh.
I had it on when Chibs came back. I said I had to go clear my head. I had my cut on. Why am I the only one in the hospital not wearing my cut? What was the point? Did I forget it when they were wiring it? What happened?
It's still on a chair. No, Brando was taking a pee, and Brando was your boy, and I'm sorry, he just forgot it.
We were in
and
a
you
rush.
were so fucked up as juice anyway. No one really gave a fuck, and you should have had your cut on.
No reason. I
had my hoodie over.
Hospital.
I mean, we go in and out of this hoodie over the cut, hoodie not with it, over it. We're all over the map with that shit. So I think by that point it was like,
no, literally makes absolutely no sense.
Oh, good pickup. I got to watch that scene again.
So when they connect, him and Roosevelt, Juice and Roosevelt, and he apologizes, it's really interesting that Juice kind of had a hard time receiving that apology, and it just fucks him up, I think, even more, where he's like, but wait a second, like, you're the enemy. Like, why are you apologizing?
Do you remember that scene?
I do. And I remember it because I remember the way I was playing it. The way I was playing it was, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, I'm already fucked. Like, I'm supposed to hate everyone, and I can't forgive him, but yet at the same time, I know that it's not his fault.
The world is really revolving around you right now, bro. Juice's world is so fucking crushed right now, and we don't know where it's going to go. You don't know what you're going to have to do. And you're in such a fucking pickle. You tried to kill yourself, couldn't do that. You've come back to the club. You're lying. Rockman's now apologizing.
Yeah.
Link has you by the nose hairs.
Yeah.
You and Clay, I'm sorry, but there's a real similar freaking caught feeling.
Ultimately, we come together.
And ultimately you come together.
And same with Gemma and I too.
Yeah.
And same with Wendy and I. I mean, Juice really started molding with all the, or melding, I should say, with all the kind of Broken Hearts Club.
Yeah. The Broken Hearts Club, for better. Yeah, for sure.
For better or worse. And I don't mean that like the ones who just were kind of fucked up.
I'm broken. Come over here, Juice. Yeah. Hey, I'm broken too. Juice, come on over here.
And I guess we would have never known, but I would have liked to see more stuff, maybe with like, I've always said, like, the thing, obviously the Tig and Juice relationship, we just really dropped the ball on in every way because we had teed that up.
They just realized that
we teed that up.
The humor that we had,
we teed it up.
The fun that we had, it just, the show stopped that level of humor. So they just stopped writing for you and me.
And again,
together.
I don't, my God, it could have been so interesting, right?
Well, you wait. I don't know whether you remember this or not. You wait till season 6 or 7, when you're on the run and I have a couple of scenes with you where I incorporated my love for that kid, my understanding of the lost boy in Juice.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that when we get to 6 and 7, because I remember doing it and it was fun to do.
So Tig and Crew see Jax, you did something that I haven't seen you do in the scene, but you did it in this. Do you know what you did?
I'm sorry. Where am we now?
This is when you guys see Jax sitting there
in the hospital.
Yep.
I gave him a couple of hugs.
You gave him 2 hugs.
I don't even know why. One would have been enough, but I think I read the script that week and I went, boy, this guy's going through a lot. I'm just looking good. I'm in really good duds right now. Got a great shirt on. Tommy and I think we're like,
hugs.
I give him
2 hugs.
Yep. One wasn't enough.
No.
That was weird, eh?
It was weird.
Look at the Canadian coming. That was weird, eh? Like,
yeah, and you know what was weird, eh? I got to tell you, it was even weirder, eh? They kept them both. You would have thought
they did. They should cut that shit out.
Yeah, you would have thought in the edit they would be like, wait, didn't he just hug him? Maybe we don't need to put the second. Oh, we'll put the second hug. Okay, we'll put the second hug.
I have a feeling that Tig was fighting with Clay so much that he decided to go over to the Charlie chair for a minute.
Yeah.
And Charlie was so fucked up that he just, whatever was coming his way. I'm sure I made up both those hugs and he was into it because he was not in a good mood.
Well, then Jax wants to talk to Opie, tells him he's leaving Sam Crow. Opie's devastated. Obviously, he's confused.
Devastating.
Donna comes up and that's the impetus for Jax telling him to go talk to his family.
Yeah.
Which is going to get him, we know sooner than later to get to Piney, right?
Yeah.
And then we get to Juice on the move, right? Clay pulls up. Juice is outside. Clay pulls up, checks in, walks past everybody, doesn't even fucking say a word. He's
sleeping. He's sleeping there at the clubhouse.
Sleeping there, and you guys notice something's wrong, but you don't know what.
Yeah.
And then we get to this final scene, which is probably one of the better scenes I've seen on the show. Played brilliantly by Dayton and Gemma.
Yeah. When you are given makeup, like I had for Officer Down and countless others, when you're given makeup, when your fans and your family see your work in that Kevin Hart thing, bro, because I've been lucky enough to be your BFF and see a few photos on the side. When you have makeup that Katie had on and it's done so beautifully well, and then you play the scene with the hurt and because she already did the scene with Ron before, they made sure that they shot that scene first so she would remember it inside of herself. And then you bring in a guy like Dayton Cali, who's loved this woman since high school, and you put him down in a chair and he sees her face for the first. Get the fucking cameras rolling right now.
And his reaction to seeing her.
I can't even.
Because it's so dark in there. And what I was expecting, sometimes I try to anticipate what the lines are going to be. And I thought he was going to say, like, why is it so dark in here? That's what I was thinking he was going to say, but he didn't say that. But when he sees her, his fucking reaction, and then the camera finds her, and your reaction is like, oh my God.
Brilliantly edited. Brilliant edit. Great direction, great acting, great writing. Horrifyingly sad.
She says Clay can't be saved.
No, that's right.
And before that, he can't. So what Dayton's doing there is he's kind of melding like mad and angry and sad all at once. He just wants to do something. Tell me what I got to do. I'll do whatever.
Yeah.
Even immediately says, I'll set him up for Piney's murder. I'll pin it on him. And she says, no. She doesn't say he's going to die by the hand of the son. Not a son. The son.
Yeah. He's going to die by the hand of the son. And
Come on.
What a fucking foreshadowing moment of an end. Like, no
Who would have thought about that? Who would have thought when she said that, what was coming?
Yeah. No shit.
Fucking A, man. Fucking A. What an episode. What a show. What a fuck, man.
Okay. So look, I'm just emotional talking about it again. Now look, so next week I'm in freaking New York. I have no idea when we're fitting it
Georgia.
in, but you'll be in Georgia. We're going to fit it in somehow. And we're going to get our boy, Kenny Johnson. He's coming on happily. He can't wait. I mean, thank God we can't arm wrestle over Zoom because my arm would be broken.
We got to figure it out because this movie's so weird coming up. I'm not off on the weekends. I'm off I'm sure we shouldn't be talking about this on air, but fuck it. Who cares?
No, fuck it. Who cares?
Right.
We'll figure it out, bro.
I'm off. Yeah, I'm off in like the middle of the week. So let's talk to KJ and figure out when we can get Kozik on.
Yeah, see, and I got massive day Thursday, Friday. So we got to figure this out.
Yeah, maybe hopefully I'm working nights on the weekend and we can do it. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
You know why, Kim? Hey, you know why? Because you and I care. Because
we do care.
Because we care. Even though we say who cares?
That's why we say it. Because we care.
Because we care.
Hey,
love you, brother.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
You know how much I love you, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, safe travels and all that shit, bro.
Yes, sir.
Love you.
Can't wait. Love you.
See ya.